Mana Decentraland explained. What is Decentraland? Decentraland mana coin, mana crypto, mana token. Alright guys, so Decentraland and Mana was something that I was asked to review by one of y'all, and it is one of those game coins like Engine. And as I was reading the white paper, I thought this thing is pretty cool because it is already online. I actually logged in and played the game, and I was like, I can really become addicted to this if I was a teenager and I had nothing to do, which is a lot of teenagers. So anyway, I did what I do best. I read the white paper, so you don't have to, even though I say all the time that you should, because the gaming cryptos, their white papers are actually pretty cool. It just shows like a big roadmap of where they're going. This one was kind of technical in and of itself, but I'm gonna bring it down to tell you how this coin, how this project will relate to other projects that we're looking at, like HOT, Theta, just HOT and Theta. What I've been talking so much about. That hot Theta. Alright guys, if you haven't done so already, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and now let's talk about Decentraland. Alright, so to start anything, we have to do a brief overview of Decentraland. So Decentraland is a virtual reality platform that is powered by the Ethereum blockchain. Users can create, experience, and monetize content and applications on Decentraland. Now the land in Decentraland is permanently owned by the community and they have total control over their creations. Users claim this virtual land and they control what content is published on their land. And content can really range from static 3D scenes to interactive systems such as games. So in Decentraland, land is actually an NFT and it is bought with Mana, which is a ERC20 token that can also be used to buy digital goods and services. Unlike other virtual worlds and social networks, Decentraland is not owned or controlled by a centralized organization. So there is no authority there to modify the rules and the economies. Alright, so now let's talk about the problem. We have centralized platforms like Facebook that have allowed hundreds of millions of users to gather, interact, share content, and play games. Facebook and other social media platforms, they control the rules and the content flow. And in that entire process, they are extracting significant flow of revenue from the communities and content creators who drive the traffic to their platforms. So Decentraland's play is to build a network that allow content creators to capture the full value of their contributions. The problem is that there's still a big lack of an efficient way to quickly process micropayments, which constrains the throughput of the network transactions. This is because it's built on Ethereum and Ethereum has a lot of scaling issues right now. But this next part is important. Payment transactions will need to occur off-chain to achieve short to medium-term scalability in blockchain payment networks. We have Bitcoin's Lightning Network and Ethereum's state channels being on the verge of enabling a very fast global payment system with low fees. The whole idea that Decentraland is built on is the idea of low-cost direct payments between content creators and the users. So if you guys have not looked at DeFi posts, I really suggest you go look at it because it really ranks the projects into lending, decentralized exchanges, derivatives, payments, assets, etc. If you look at payments, Flexa is in the top 3. So it was number 1 before, but I think Polygon just took it out for some reason. I think they had a gain of 21% in a day. So I wonder what happened there. That's news for another day. But Flexa is a way for people to do micropayments. Exactly what Decentraland is looking for.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
And then we have Alexa, always jumping into my videos. So let's talk a little bit about districts. So the design of Decentraland is themed. Unlike web domains where a website can really have links to a lot of other websites that are totally unrelated to each other, land in Decentraland aims to create districts of common themes. Districts in Decentraland are critical because for content creators, it provides access to targeted traffic. And for users, it enables the discovery of themed experiences. And with limited land, there's going to be a secondary market that'll develop around land ownership and rentals. And high traffic areas will go for a lot of money. So think about like places in San Francisco. Any of the houses there, over $1 million. So guys, what do you think of when they say themed experiences? For me, I think of Disneyland. And what happens if Disneyland decide to take a look into Decentraland and recreate that there? It's going to be a whole different ballgame, folks. So in Decentraland's view, Decentraland is basically an economy. So the platform must allow for the trade of currency, goods, and services. And the scripting language of Decentraland will offer programmers to take advantage of fast and cheap micropayments. Right, so let's talk about use cases. So applications will be built with a scripting language that Decentraland is building. Games, gambling, and dynamic 3D scenes are just some applications. We also have districts like we talked about, which provides hubs for neighborhoods to form. And these hubs will have targeted traffic, which is great for advertisers because that's what they want. And then we have advertising while we're on the topic because brands can advertise with with billboards in near high traffic areas. And they're envisioning that some neighborhoods may become versions of Times Square in New York City. There's going to be things like digital collectibles, which I believe it's going to be hot because of the NFT mania that's really going on right now. And it's going to be just basically social. Because think of Facebook groups, Discord servers, Telegrams, even my YouTube comments section. And in real life, these groups form anywhere, and we can see them form in Decentraland. It's going to be better. So guys, it's basically a huge MMORPG or massively multiplayer online role-playing game, kind of. But instead, what they allow is they allow for chat like we used to have, but they also allow for you to have voice calls through Decentraland. And it's not created by anyone. It's created by everyone around you. So it's literally bringing the real life to this virtual reality world for you to hang out. And do you think that that kind of sounds like Facebook, but better? Because now you can have a chat with your friends and you can see their avatars and you can actually experience things together that are created by other people just for you that you like. So you could find new friends much more easily through districts than how you can through Facebook groups, because how many Facebook groups are there and how interactive is it to scroll down a Facebook page looking for the groups you want, right? So that's just what I'm thinking of. All right, so let's talk about land ownership. So Ethereum smart contract is used to maintain a ledger of ownership for land parcels in the virtual world. These NFTs are called land, and they have a special XY coordinate that is unique to an owner. And they have a reference to a content description file, which is a file that basically tells us what the landowner wants to be on his land. Now here's the thing, land is bought with mana, and when ownership is changed, that mana gets destroyed. So that is some pretty interesting tokenomics, and I like it a lot because they have a max supply of mana of around 2.65 billion. It sounds like a lot, but if this goes big, that's not a lot of tokens. According to the white paper, to show you the world, Decentraland uses something like a BitTorrent and Kademlia DHT. I've never heard of Kademlia before. And this network really stores what to show you at a certain XY coordinate in the virtual world. So this is what allows Decentraland to work without a centralized server. This makes it so that no one owns Decentraland. No one has full control over Decentraland. No one has the power to exert power over others like Facebook does. But remember though, the current BitTorrent solution means that people are hosting the world with their own bandwidth out of goodwill because they're not getting compensated right now. In the future though, they are thinking that the infrastructure costs can be covered with protocols like Filecoin, which I did a video of, so check it out over there. And not just Filecoin, but if we are hosting files and websites, we're basically just hosting plain data. And there are other protocols like, I don't know, Holochain and Theta. That's what they do. They host. And I've gone through these projects many times already, so if you haven't checked it out, then please check it out over there. So I think what you want now is to really just identify the foundation pieces. Like Chainlink is a foundation piece for all decentralized applications that need to connect to the real world. For example, if we're getting off-chain stock information data, that needs to go through Chainlink in order to make it to the blockchain. And I'm thinking if they're already depending or looking into Filecoin, then what's going to stop them from looking into something like Holochain, something like Theta, which will give Decentraland the foundation and a lot of other projects a foundation. So they become a dependency factor. Alright guys, so if you watched this far and you like what I'm saying so far, then please comment down below and say something like juicy, all for the YouTube algorithm. Now let's talk about communication. So clients communicate with each other via peer-to-peer connections hosted with servers by landowners or third parties. These P2P connections are needed in order to provide the social interaction between users, and running these servers will require micropayments to cover the operating costs. Again, HOT, IOTA, Theta, they're all able to handle both the server maintenance and the micropayments. IOTA and Theta especially. Alright, now let's talk about payment channels, which is the key for in-world purchases and incentivizing quality delivery of content and P2P servers. The idea behind payment channels is just to let people do direct payments to developers without the chance of identity theft. Alright, so Land's value really comes from its ability to host content and applications. It is going to be demanded by content creators so that they can reach their audience and influence them. Now, each parcel of land is distinguishable from one another because each have a unique XY coordinate. And one land is really equal to 1000 mana. And mana is really the currency of Decentraland, if that isn't already clear already. Now, here are the challenges. If you've tried Decentraland, then you might have noticed that it is really slow. And that is because it's on a P2P network. It has to get on something like Holochain or Theta or something like that, Filecoin, in order to speed up the processing of rendering the world to your computer. Bringing developers on board to develop for it as as usual with every project, it is going to be a challenge as well because we need to be incentivized in order to build for you. Content creation, which say like violence, porn, gambling, those are really difficult things to solve on a decentralized network. I don't hate it. I think this is a really good project in my opinion. Once the scaling and hosting issues are resolved, I can see this go far. But I'd rather invest in the foundational structures that Decentraland might use, like Filecoin, Holochain, Theta, simply because when you're mining for gold, like in the gold rush, you don't want to be the one mining for gold. You want to be the one selling Levi jeans. You want to be the one selling shovels because that is going to be how you get rich. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you got something out of this Decentraland review. Other than that, if you've enjoyed this video, then please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, check out these other videos on cryptocurrencies and passive income, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.